James is a notary public at a bank. Ms. Anderson comes in with a pre-signed power of attorney, POA, document that grants her brother, Mark, authority to manage her financial affairs. She explains that Mark is currently out of town and wants to ensure he can access her accounts if needed. James verifies Ms. Anderson's identity and notices that while the POA is signed by her, it lacks any witness signatures or notarization. Ms. Anderson asks James to notarize the POA so it becomes effective. What should James do in this situation? To help us answer this question, let's have a look at section 182.3, which is found in the Notary Public License Law booklet entitled Requirements for Notaries, and it states at subsection A, all notaries public who wish to perform notarial acts in New York State must, and we could jump to subsection 3 for the purpose of this question, require the personal appearance of all parties to any transaction for which a notarial act is required for the duration of any such transaction. So with this in mind, let's have a look at the 4 choices to determine the solution. Choice A states, notarize the POA since Ms. Anderson has signed it in his presence. Well, this is incorrect because actually Ms. Anderson had pre-signed the power of attorney, and as I read from the law before, Ms. Anderson would have had to appear before the notary for the entire transaction, including signing the POA in front of the notary public, but because it has not been signed in his presence in actuality, therefore the notary public, James, cannot proceed with the notarization, and choice A is not the correct solution. Choice B states, refuse to notarize the POA because Mark is not present. Well, this is incorrect because unless the power of attorney specifically requires Mark to sign in front of a notary public as well, it's not necessary for Mark to be present. The notary public only needs to have Ms. Anderson to attend and appear before the notary public and sign in front of him, but not Mark, and therefore choice B is not the correct solution. Choice C states, advise Ms. Anderson to have Mark sign the POA before notarization. Once again, the requirement is not on Mark, rather it's only on Ms. Anderson, and therefore choice C is not the correct solution, which leaves by process of elimination choice D, but let's have a look just to be certain. Choice D states, explain that the POA must be properly executed with required witnesses and then notarize it. Now this is a correct solution because indeed the power of attorney must be properly executed, meaning Ms. Anderson has to sign the power of attorney in front of James. The fact that it was pre-signed is not enough. As well, James must ensure that it was also witnessed at that time because that is a general requirement of New York State powers of attorney, and therefore choice D, explain that the POA must be properly executed with required witnesses and then notarize it, is the correct solution.